Are you paranoid or dealing with self-destructive behaviors such as sleep disorder, anger issues, drug and alcohol abuse? These are possible symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder or other traumatic experiences. The General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation presents Campaign Against Suffering in Silence, CASIS. CASIS provides professional mental health, psychosocial support and non-judgmental services to serving and retired military, paramilitary and their families. For more info, call 091 27 95 0177. Again, 091 27 95 0177. Along onto our website www.atahirufoundation.org. On Instagram is at atahiru_foundation. Twitter at GIA_foundation. Facebook at Tahiru_foundation. YouTube at Tahiru Foundation. The General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation, promoting mental health and social well-being.
All right, you need to leave at Radio 91.7 FM. Thank you so much for joining us on this amazing Tuesday morning once again. Of course, the 24th day in the month of January. I hope that your day is starting up well and you're feeling good today. And of course, hopefully your day will definitely end well. Well, you're welcome to CASIS, Campaign Against Suffering in Silence. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Now, CASIS, a Campaign Against Suffering in Silence, is a program that comes to you every Tuesday from 11 to about 11:30. And is brought to you by the General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation. All right, so we get to talk about mental health, of course, discussing mental health and psychosocial support to the military, paramilitary, veterans' wives, their widows, and of course, their dependents. Now, like I said earlier, this is brought to you by the General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation, which is an independent and non-partisan foundation that's named after the late Chief of Army Staff of Nigeria, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru. All right, who passed away on 21st of May 2021 while still on active duty in the service of Nigeria. All right, now the priority of this foundation, of course, is mental health and psychosocial support. Like I said earlier, that's MHPSS, so the military, paramilitary, veterans, their wives, widows, and dependents. And of course, I'm talking about paramilitary personnel like the civil servants, fire service, Federal Road Safety Corps, Customs, Immigration, NDLEA, Correctional Service, their wives associations, Veterans of Nigerian Legion, and of course, you, the general public, who get to gain one or two things on mental health also, because I know that in one way or the other, you're definitely related or you know somebody that is in the military or has left the whole military service, is back home. So how do you deal with some of, what would I call them, challenges, or maybe sometimes mental, challenges that might come up during their stay with you? So it's just for us to learn and to keep ourselves abreast of some of these challenges and how we can go about to help our heroes, of course. All right, so today on the program, I have Dr. Isa Hamza with me, as usual. Dr. Isa, you're welcome. Thank you for coming through today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, how's your week been? Your weekend?
It was short.
Yeah.
Very short.
Dr. Isa. All right, you're welcome. Dr. Isa is a clinical psychologist and, of course, a MHPSS expert. And he is the CEO of Hallmark Minds. All right, so Dr. Isa, today on the program, we'll be talking about mental health and national security. Now, when you talk about security, it's no longer a new thing. Everybody knows how we're dealing with, or everybody knows our security situation in the country. All right, so mental health and national security, how are they interrelated? What's with mental health? What's with national security? How do we even bring that in the same sentence? All of that. So this is what we're looking at today, mental health and national security with Dr. Isa Hamza. So let's just get on to it straight away. Now, mental health and national security. Dr. Isa, how do they interrelate?
Well, good morning once more. A lot of people will be wondering what is the relationship, just like what you said. But mental health is the anchor of national security. If you are talking about if you're talking about national security, you're talking about a lot of things that are under the umbrella of security.
Yeah.
When people hear about security, the first thing that comes into their mind is picking guns and maybe standing by the road, but there are a lot of things that are attached to the concept of security. The first one here is we're talking about job security, we're talking about economic security. Everything come together. If you put all of those things together, it will give you the holistic picture of a national security. Not even forgetting about the fact that the normal, our security operatives, they play a significant role. Now, going back a bit, looking at the relationship between the mental health and our national security, that is talking about the military, paramilitary settings, is that what has to be in the security setting, one has to be sane enough to be able to carry out certain tasks. We have to be able to trust that person or those people cognitively. Their cognitive ability, their judgment call, their level of emotions and things like that, before we will agree on giving them or assigning them to protect us and our lives and properties. Now, I want to use this opportunity to give the Nigerian military a credit, because there is a special, in fact, if you fail that psychological evaluation in Nigerian military, you're not going forward, regardless of who your godfather is. Yes, it's surprising, right?
Yeah.
Yes, well, I was opportune to be part of the board once or twice. So the point here is the psychological evaluation is the most important thing in the recruitment process. If they come after the physical, after the presentation of credentials and what have you, then you have to come and sit down and pass some tests provided by the psychologist. After which the psychologist will recommend you for enrollment into the service. You understand? So a lot of people.
Is this just done for the military or for all the paramilitary and?
Well, I think it's for the military for now.
Okay.
Because I can say that with all degree of certainty for the military, and I don't actually know about the whole paramilitary, like the Department of State Security Service or what have you. But for the military, I can tell you that they do that. But everything has its own advantage and disadvantage. And now, the shortcoming here is after the enrollment, after the psychological evaluation, after the enrollment, they might have gone for training at the depot, and now they are back. So there is that check and balance at times, that we are expecting. That is consistent psychological evaluation, since they are coming into they are now into the service, and they are going to be in contact with a lot of stressful activities. Some of the activities they do have the ability to render them emotionally unstable, so to speak. So, and we want them to be at the peak of their service. So how can we relate that? If someone is not mentally fit, then definitely even if it is at home, there are some things you can't even allow him to on the gas cooker.
Of course.
So things like that,
putting the person in forefront in terms of security. All right, you have just made us understand how this is definitely related in all sense of it. It is related. All right, now let's look at how does our mental health, all right, of our men and women, how does that contribute to national security?
Yes. Now, you see, if you look at the servicemen and women, if you look at the whole organization or the body, the security body, they are not just protecting us from external aggressors, they are also protecting us from our own selves. You understand? Like, for instance, the issue, I think, of some years back, there's an increase in the number of cases in substance abuse, of which you notice that there at that same period of time, there was an increase in the number of crimes being committed. You understand? We conducted a small research then, and we noticed that they are interwoven. So you see, they have to also look for a way, to provide solutions for internal security as well. That is, okay, those people, how are we going to curtail the issue of the increase in substance abuse? How are we going to provide solutions or advice to the governing bodies about the issue of unemployment, and how are we going to... So they have a say, that is like our security personnel, they have a say in almost every ramification of our own country, because if we have a lot of hostile people in the community, it is their own duty now. They have to be mentally stable, and they have to be able to absorb whatever negativity is coming from the society in order to create a kind of a peaceful coexistence between the people residing within that given geographical area. You see, so their level of mental health and mental well-being is at the paramount when it comes about peacekeeping and peace missions, and also relating with the civilians, because their level of professionalism and training, and loyalty to their own service is absolutely different from that of a layman in the society. You understand? Sure. So at the end of the day, one can just come and start saying negative words. One can just come and start throwing tantrums and things, but they have to keep their emotions aside. They have to keep their feelings aside and try to the best of their own ability to tackle the issue in a professional way. You see, these are things that the society, a lot of people don't actually look into or don't actually think about. But they also have their own mental well-being that has to be checked periodically for them to be able to be fit. Sure. So, like I can give you one or two examples.
Go ahead.
Like, now we're approaching an era that, aside from the festive period, that, thank God, we've gone through that peacefully and with little or no issue of criminal activities. Now we are talking about the ongoing transition, change in government. Yeah. You understand? So there are going to be a lot of hostility between different groups. You understand? And they have to be professional enough, even the security details attached to the people that are contesting, they have to be professional enough not to be entangled in this arena, because it is very sensitive. So regardless of what the circumstance might be, trying to hold on your own emotion, trying to hold on your thoughts and your feelings because of your level of commitment to your own service, it is something that you have to be given a credit for. Sure. It is extremely difficult. Sometimes you'll be coerced to say things that, at the end of the day, if someone decides to say something, and like a personnel, they are not going to look at him as an individual. They are going to look at him from his own organization. True. This is what these people are, this is what the police are doing, this is what the army are doing, this is...
just tend to generalize.
Exactly. You understand? Yeah. But looking at their own mental health, how stable is this person? Is he fit for this kind of a mission? You understand? Is he fit for this kind of a mission? How hostile are the people there? Does this person have that cognitive ability to maneuver his way around those people to create a kind of a balance in the society? So that also makes it very, very important for our servicemen and women.
All right, if you're just joining us, this is Liberty Radio, and of course, we're on the program CASIS, Campaign Against Suffering and Silence, brought to you by the General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation. Stay with us, we'll be back shortly.
Are you paranoid or dealing with self-destructive behaviors such as sleep disorder, anger issues, drug and alcohol abuse? These are possible symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder or other traumatic experiences. The General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation presents Campaign Against Suffering in Silence, CASIS. CASIS provides professional mental health, psychosocial support and non-judgmental services to serving and retired military, paramilitary and their families. For more info, call 091 27 95 0177. Again, 091 27 95 0177. Along onto our website www.atahirufoundation.org. On Instagram is at atahiru_foundation. Twitter at GIA_foundation. Facebook at Tahiru_foundation. YouTube at Tahiru Foundation. The General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation, promoting mental health and social well-being.
All right, thank you for staying with us. You're welcome back to CASIS, Campaign Against Suffering and Silence. And of course, I'm with Dr. Isa Hamza, and we'll be talking about mental health and national security. And you know what he told me behind off mic? He said, this is very wide. I think we need to do. I say, yes, we really need to talk more on this. All right, so now we've talked about how mental health, how the mental health of our men and women contribute to national security. We've talked about that, and of course you actually let us know how interrelated they are, mental health and national security. Now let's look at what needs to be done to improve mental health and to foster, or rather, mental health to foster national security. What do you think can be done, whether from the side of military, paramilitary, and even us as individuals? Because this is a program that looks at the military, looks at the paramilitary, and also the general public. So what do you think these three categories of people can actually do in terms of fostering national security?
Okay, interesting. The first thing here,
based on our mental health.
the first thing here is this campaign we're doing, the General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation, enlighten people on the importance of mental health, well-being, and the campaign against suffering in silence. If you have any mental health issue, you should be able to be bold enough to walk to a professional or seek for assistance. Now, aside from that, how conversant are we, the general public, about the concept of mental health? I think in our first session, I made mention of this earlier. I said once they talk about mental health, the first thing a lot of people think about is that you are losing it.
Sure.
But unfortunately, it is not like that.
So,
when you are talking about mental health, you are talking about the complete physical, emotional, and psychological well-being of an individual. So how informed are we about that? That's the society. And how are we playing our own role? Like an example, I think during this campaign, we're able to get a lot of people that are being informed about the concept of mental health and the significance of seeking for assistance. But how about the general public? Other people. The remaining of the society and other people listening. How much are they willing to go to check their own mental well-being? It is also important, and another thing is that now talking about the security settings, I made mention of the psychological evaluation at first. Now the problem here is keeping up with the psychological evaluation. That is a very, very serious challenge, most especially for the military, because being here and there and consistent missions and things like that, like back-to-back missions. So it is very important for the military to go back to their drawing board, to sit down and see if it is going to be possible. And like, let's say, assigning each unit should have like a mental health expert, someone to talk to, some, if there is an issue, or after coming back, the unit, they sit down, and the mental health expert will be able to assess them if they're fit for the next mission or not, or if this person needs a break for a while, time off, or if this person is supposed to be on social mission. So there are a lot of sensitive missions that at the end of the day, we won't actually send a person who is emotionally unstable to a sensitive mission. That is also important. Now, to the paramilitary, like, it is important for them to look into this concept of mental health in terms of rendering as part of their own service they render to their own personnel. Because sometimes when you discuss with some of these people, the personnel, even in the society, you see them walking, or you have a one-on-one chat with them, you don't realize that they also need assistance in one or two ways. Not really financial assistance, but they need someone to talk to, a professional to talk to. I remember when I was here in Kaduna some years back, about 5 years back, there was a case of some security operatives that were into substance, and they had to be dealt with. In as much as it's not the military, it's they are from the paramilitary settings, but talking about it in depth, they didn't realize that they've been depressed for a while. They've been a part of this anti-bunkery mission and what have you, and all of a sudden they are back and no counseling, nothing, and they're just left with their allowances and into the community, and they were going off course for a while. They were becoming unprofessional. So you see, if we can sit down and think about the importance of mental health and choosing the right people for the right job, it will also help in improving our performance with the civilians. Because if there is a tension, if there is a tension, let's say in Kao, we know the right people that we're going to assign to that mission.
To that place,
you understand? Now, talking about the advanced countries, before you go for a mission, you have to go for psych eval. You go for psych eval, they withdraw one or two people from that unit, they replace them with another people, so that they will have a close to perfect unit to execute the mission. And that's why they say zero tolerance for error. You understand? So if I feel I'm going to a mission and I'm thinking about my child's school fees, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking at a point in time, people respond to stress differently. There might be a hostile person with a rifle in front of him, and he's going to black out. Or maybe he might have been through a lot of missions and he has seen a lot of hostility, and now he's back simply because he has been deployed to another barrack. So now there's this small tension. They ask him to go, and the next thing is he's going to see them as hostile people, and they'll start talking about accidental discharge. And all of this accidental discharge that we've been talking about previously,
we've been hearing and seeing
it is psychological. It has to do with psychological issues. You see, nobody is actually looking at it from this angle. But as I said earlier, mental health is at the backbone of everything you do in any country, in any society.
All right, so, to be a part of the program, you can dial 0706 336 4218. 0706 336 4218. Our topic today is mental health and national security. How both of them actually come together, how they're related, and how, of course, this can actually how we can improve our mental health so that we can get our national security right. All right, so 0706-336-4218 is a number to call in. All right, so let's try out this call before I get to ask you the last question I have for you today. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Wawa Gusa. I'm calling from Barakallah, Kaduna, Nigeria.
All right, you're welcome, Wawa Gusa. Let's hear you.
Yeah, about the issue of the security, I think there will be a problem in the security section. Corruption will never end in Nigeria without giving the military and the security their entitlement. Can you imagine now, those retired soldiers are complaining that the ever published media say they will give the whole army the entitlement. So, coming to the entitlement, instead of them, somebody will get 1 million, give him 50,000, so 100,000, some ever even see their own up to now. And because this is the reason why they give their little money, army said they will go and protest. They will never allow Independence Day to be commenced. So that's why they give that most money in order to cover their mouth. So I am calling for the General Muhammad Buhari or somebody near him. Let him talk to that money given to retired veterans. They never give it. So he should try, and if they want security to stay in this country, they should give the retired army and service soldier the attachment. That's from there you see the security will come to an end. Without giving that, I don't think security will end. Because the corruption in the army is too much. That's my own. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Augusto from Barakallah. So he's talking about helping to curb security, the insecurity we're facing. Yeah. And he's also saying that, talking to, or rather giving the retired veterans what is due them would actually help a lot to curb the insecurity that, we are facing. So you want to say anything about that?
Yes, I believe he made mention of something like corruption in the military settings.
Yes, in the corruption,
I believe corruption is a two-way traffic. There must be a giver and there must be a taker. Sure. You understand? And now if simply because the society now is facing a lot of challenges and there are some rotten eggs or bad eggs in the system, in as much as the system is trying to poach them out, that is the military system. We also have to understand that we, the civilians, we have our own role to play. That is, we have the people that are representing us from our own constituencies. What are we doing about that? You understand?
Yeah.
We have to be able to write to them, follow the due process. If it has not been given to you, your entitlement, based on the normal structure, then that is why we have the three arms of government for check and balance. This one has, if you feel this one has a little bit problem or it's glitchy, then you can actually resort to the second one. That is, you talk to your lawmakers. You can even go and meet your counselor. You are like 5 people. You write your own. You write your own case. You sign, and it will be taken for it to exactly. And other people will join you and write. So I believe it is not that. Maybe your entitlement is like 1 million and they've given you 50,000, and that will also make or give rise to the increase in security challenges. I believe we made mention of this earlier, that we have a lot of them in the society, but the most important thing here is following the right channel. You understand? How have you been conveying your message? If you say you're going through this place and it has not been working for you for 10, 5, 2, even if it is 6 months, you need to change another. And we are in a democratic system of governing. You have to be able to talk to go and meet the senator or members that are representing your own constituency. Present the case. You get your own people. You are like five of you or 6 of you or 10 of you. You write your petition. And it will be escalated, and it will be looked into. And now that you are now a veteran, automatically it means you are a civilian. You understand? So you are following through the legal and right channel, and I believe with the way things are going, the people representing your own constituency, they'll be very, very happy to help because you are our heroes. If we can't fight for you, then there is no need to be there for you any longer.
Okay. All right. So our time is fast spent, but before we go, Dr. Issa, you made mention of, is it US or UK?
Yeah.
Of how they get to probably check you out very well before they send you on any mission. Now, are there other best practices or examples elsewhere that you think that we can learn from as a country?
Yes, I believe almost all of those advanced countries and some of the third world country, because I remember in one or two occasions, like a country like South Africa, they do that as well. I remember Botswana. They also talk about that. They do that. But the issue here is if the military, to some extent, they are overstretched. I believe there is this room for the civilians, the professionals, to come in and play a role, which is like inviting some of us consultants, some of the mental health practitioners to come and assist. Simply because of that, I believe, we in General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation, we are trying to see how we can be able to render to the best of our own ability this mental health service to the widows and the veterans, you understand, and the paramilitary personnel. Because if we say we are going to go into almost every aspect of the security system, that we have certain jurisdictions that they are well off limit for us, you understand. But when they feel and they acknowledge that they are a little short staff, then they can actually recruit civilians to also assist.
Okay. All right. So, this is where we draw the curtains for today. Hopefully, you've been able to understand more on how mental health begins to affect our national security. All right. And we'll be able to understand how they are interrelated. With your mental health, at least to a very large extent, our national security is guaranteed. If we have, a good mental health, our national security is... Oh, this call just came through. All right, let's just give it a chance. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Well, good morning, my sister.
Good morning.
Thank you. I thought let me call before you round up.
Okay.
I wanted to listen to your guest before, but when you just say, I think let me just call you.
Okay.
Yes. Kaduna is Ibrahim calling from Kabbalah.
All right, Ali Ibrahim, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yes. So I'm so very happy for the immortalization of the formative of staff for using here for this foundation.
Okay.
Very quite okay. And you see, since the issue of security has become a general phenomenon for all of us, because both military and paramilitary and non-military, like we.
Hello.
In this aspect.
Okay.
We are all the stakeholders in this aspect, both all of us, all Nigerians. So it is a good thing for us to at least to align together so that we're able to fight one cause, which is the canker one that is troubling us. And through this, all this matters that are affecting us psychologically, mentally, and whatsoever, it's all down to corruption and conflict solution. And security is the whole mark of it, but God deliver us. Thank you. I applaud you people, and they don't continue to give this chance to do more than this. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thank you too, Ali Ibrahim, for calling just at the last minute. So, well, next week is another day, God's willing. Dr. Issa will be here by God's grace, and then we'll take up the program CASIS, Campaign Against Suffering in Silence. All right, this is for military, paramilitary, veterans, their wives, widows, and all those dependents on them. All right, now to get more information on the General Ibrahim Atahiru Foundation, who has brought Campaign Against Suffering in Silence, CASIS, you can call 091 279 50177. All right, I'll just go over that again. 091 279 50177. Or you can visit their website www.atahirufoundation.org. On Instagram and on Facebook is at Atahiru_Foundation. On Twitter is at GIA_Foundation. On YouTube is Atahiro Foundation one word. So these are different avenues you can get to Atahiro, General Ibrahim Atahiro Foundation, who has brought campaign against suffering in silence to you for military, paramilitary, veterans, and their wives, of course. And you know that the priority focus of the foundation is the mental health and psychosocial support to the military, paramilitary, veterans, their wives, and dependents. All right, so, well, Dr. Isa Hamza is a clinical psychologist and is an expert on mental health and psychosocial support. And, of course, he's the CEO of Hallmark Minds. Join us again next week, Tuesday, from 11 to 11:30, where we'll bring you this program, CASIS. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaisar. Until then, please remain healthy. Good morning.
Are you paranoid or dealing with self-destructive behaviors such as sleep disorder, anger issues, drug and alcohol abuse? These are possible symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder or other traumatic experiences. The General Ibrahim Atahiro Foundation presents Campaign Against Suffering in Silence, CASIS. CASIS provides professional mental health, psychosocial support and non-judgmental services to serving and retired military, paramilitary and their families. For more info, call 091 27 95 0177. Again, 091 27 95 0177. Along onto our website www.atahirufoundation.org. On Instagram is at Atahiru_Foundation. Twitter at GIA_Foundation. Facebook at Tahiru_Foundation. YouTube at Tahiru Foundation. The General Ibrahim Atahiro Foundation, promoting mental health and social well-being.
This is
Liberty Radio.
Liberty Radio.
91.7 FM. Kaduna. Liberty Radio. 91.7 FM. Kaduna.
Drop that beat.
Keep it locked to Liberty Radio.